Ka-chow.
So I want to spend a little time introducing everybody to my Jeep. This is the Beast, and we're getting ready to start her as a full-on project. So let's just kind of start from the beginning, which you can see there's a lot of major rust problems. This rust actually goes all the way through, so you can't fold the top down right now. You can see it right there, just eating through. The engine is not stock on this. It's out of like a 1980s Buick. So it is a V6, which is nice. And let's show you that here. Got some rust going on there. New battery, need to get new belts. Basically, this thing needs to just be refreshed, but otherwise it's clean, it's not leaking. We have our trusty, coolant overflow bottle here. If we're to work our way from the front to the back, the front diff is gonna need some attention as far as fluid. And also I think those are the wrong size springs, which is making the ride incredibly rough. We do, however, have the conversion to the 11-inch disc brakes in the front, which is nice. From far away, the tires appear to be in good condition. I actually bought these and then really never drove on them, but in fact, they are super dry rotted, and this one has a big gouge out of the side of it. So tires are pretty high up on the list of necessary repairs. Working our way back and underneath, they always say that if it's leaking, then you can tell there's fluid in there. This transfer case definitely needs some attention. I imagine that all of the U-joints could use some love. And again, I think the rear springs are too small. But everything under here, I mean, it's pretty cool because this is super rusted out, but some of this actually has wood on the inside of it, which was original. You can see the way the body lays on the frame here. All this fluid is actually helping against the rust. That was when my transmission decided to eject all of the fluid out the top of the dipstick tube. Oh, look at that praying mantis cocoon. So working our way to the rear, basically the taillights don't work. None of the electrical really works. Back here, obviously the rear pumpkin needs some attention. It looks like the fluid in there is leaking out of the gasket. There's not much left of this tailpipe, but it is still doing its job. I love that exhaust support there. You can really see how much fluid is coming out of that transfer case from back here. Still have the rear drums. Okay, let's work our way inside. This is the only new thing on here. Now, inside is not too big of an issue until you start looking underneath the dash. So, pretty much nothing electrical works here. My temperature gauge works, my oil pressure gauge works, and I'm pretty positive the battery amps works. But my clutch is not hooked, or choke is not hooked up. Don't have a speedometer, and this guy is this mess right here. So this is actually my fuel tank that I sit on top of in the driver's seat. The seats themselves were steam cleaned recently, so they're not in bad shape. The roll bar could use a little love. Where it actually connects in the car or in the Jeep, where it's been welded on, is a little fragile. Also just a ton of rust, so need to address that. Obviously this light doesn't work. The back's not too bad. Just kind of let that keep swinging. There we go. Other than the spiders. So The back here isn't too bad. I've kept it pretty clean. Should probably address rust issues. In general, the tailgate itself is having some major issues here. But where it rolls, we actually still have these guys in place, so they are still doing their jobs. Just need to figure out if I can salvage that. Love this right here. Still trying to get Best Top to figure out how to send me a new top. Other than that, I think the best piece of advice I've gotten is to start a restoration by just picking one system and really learning everything about it and then attacking it and fixing it, because honestly I'm pretty overwhelmed by this entire project. So I think that's going to be my plan of attack, and I'm going to start with the fluids that are leaking and the belts, so make sure that the engine, the transmission, all my diffs, everything is happy, and then move to the ride because, well, also brakes are really important, and my fronts have started squealing. So so leaks, brakes, and then worry about like how hard it is to drive this thing. Every time you hit a pothole, it just like sends you flying. So anyway, if you want to share your stories about your, Jeep resto mod, definitely let me know what you started with in the comments. Like I said, this is a really big project for me, and I'm excited to get started. We're actually partnering with POR15. They gave me a couple products to try out to at least stop the cancer, which is the rust. So hoping to start that next week. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, definitely leave me a comment. Let me know, about your personal restoration project and where you started. I think one last little fun thing is what we're using the AC for. Check this out. So the AC compressor, which is this guy right here, actually we run a hose so that you can fill up your tires on the side of the road. One little modification.